Stop, you're blowing my mind. Okay, turn to the next page, 3. Now, I'm not really prepared to teach you this, but I wanted to show it to you. There is such thing as the gematria. There's a couple different ways to do gematria, okay? We know Aleph is 1. We know Bet is 2. But now if you do a full gematria of those letters, Aleph is going to be 111. Because you're going to write out Aleph. You understand? Because Aleph is a word in Hebrew. You know that, right? Okay? So Bet is a word, house. But you write out the full letter. Bet, if I just write the letter, is 2. But if I write Bet, it's 412. So when I'm doing my gematria and I'm structuring if God is in this verse, I have to see if he's there first in the standard version, then I have to see if he's there in the full version. Okay? So now I'm studying the scriptures, I'm doing the gematria, I'm doing gematria in standard, and I'm doing the gematria in full. So now it's taken me a year and a half to get through Genesis chapter 1. Because not only am I studying, because this is kind of like how this whole great interest of learning Hebrew started. I went to a synagogue and they said, we're studying Genesis chapter 1. I was like, oh cool, how long you guys been studying? He says, we've been in Genesis chapter 1 for a year now. I said, you've been in 1 chapter? I'm asking the rabbi, you've been in the first chapter for 1 year? I can read Genesis chapter 1 in 1 day. And we could study it for a week maybe, but then we'd be done. He said, not if you understand that there are 70 revelations in each verse. He said each verse? Yeah. There's 70 revelations in each verse. So each verse you come to, you got to find 70 revelations in that verse. Then you move on. So there's 70 things that God is saying to you in each verse, okay? So I'm like, well, I guess it would take about a year if I gotta, and not only, you're not gonna tell me the answer? I gotta find them? Okay, it's gonna take about a year for me to get through Genesis chapter 1. So I understood they were studying on a complete different level than we who study the Bible in English study. They were probably studying the Bereshit. Why is there a cross in Bereshit, in the word Bereshit? And what does Bereshit mean? Bereshit means in the beginning, but if you start breaking up the word, you go in, Rashit means first fruit. In the first fruit, what do you mean in the first fruit? Sheet means thorns. What do you mean? In the beginning, the first sheet had thorns. And then now you're putting it on the cross and you're saying he's the son, and then you got the word in there in Bereshit, gift. And God's going to have a gift that he's going to give to men, Ish, because Ish is in there too. And now you're finding a whole gospel in one word, and you're going, okay, now let's move on to the next word. Yeah. And so this is what I mean when God says, my ways are higher than your ways, the way I think it is higher than the way. We have to understand that God is like immeasurable. The water's too deep to touch the bottom, you know. So, but we have to open ourselves up to studying something that's more than surface reading, okay? And the only way to do that is to study the scriptures, and you have to study them in Hebrew so that they understand. And then now when God told me to do this, he said, I want you to know Tarbut, I want you to know the culture, I want you to understand the language, the Safa. I want you to understand, you know, everything about the culture so that now you'll understand when I'm writing what I'm saying, other than taking an English translation of something that was written in Hebrew and trying to just give your whole meaning on that. Because we can say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We're done. We studied it. What did you study? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Really?
They
Well,
just
what about
read it.
et?
They didn't study.
Et has no meaning. What is et? That's the Aleph and the Tav. Who's the Aleph and the Tav? Jesus. Wait a minute. Well, why is it the fourth word?
He's the door.
It's the door. Oh, Elohim. Et. He's the door. Okay. Man, now it's like we're opening up whole new avenues, you understand, of studying scripture. And now you're starting to find out he's the door. Can I find the door anywhere else in scripture? Now you go to Revelation chapter 4, and his first thing he says, because how many chapters does Revelation have?
22.
22. Verse 4 is what? I saw a door standing open in heaven. Why do you put that in 4? Because it's a delete verse. You know what I mean? And then now you're understanding, okay, God is talking about this door that's standing. Who's the door? We know now he's standing and he sees a door in heaven. He's just not looking at a door. He's looking at the door standing in heaven. Then you go back and you go, okay, let me look at all the other doors in Scripture. And you go, okay, here's a door. They put 3 spots of blood on that door. Right before getting delivered from Egypt. Wonder what that means. You know? And we laugh now because you're on the other side of Revelation, but how many of us have read and put 3 spots of blood on the door because you're going to be delivered? Is there going to be another door with 3 spots of blood on it in the future that's going to also bring deliverance? Yes. Okay, so now we're like taking it higher, okay? That means that the door was prophesied when he told him to come out. Not just the lamb, he's prophesying through the door. Because we know the lamb is dying, but we're taking the blood from the lamb and putting it on the door, okay? So, anyway, that's what we want to introduce. You have, how many gematria pages do you have? You're not going to be tested on gematria. Because we did one test on gematria, right? And that's what I wanted us to introduce. But I want you to have these 3 pages in your book as well, in your gematria, and you have your 2 books.
12 minutes.
Okay, now what we're moving on to is our final.
Before you go,
Yes.
I can use this star?
Yeah, you can use that star to our final, okay? This is what our final is consisted of. You've all chose a topic. You're all going to